Thank you for tuning in today for another episode of Full Spectrum Survival. As always, we appreciate your views and we look forward to your subscriptions if you enjoy the content that we provide. Today I wanted to go over a Altoids kit. Last week my brother did a video on the smudge pot to keep insects away, and during that video he mentioned a small Altoids kit that he was carrying, which is what he used to start the fire with, and he received a couple private messages about that kit. So we thought we'd go over and share with you what we found that works in the kit. Now, by all means, you might have a kit that's completely different that works for you, and maybe you could share that with us, and maybe you can get some ideas for our kit. So let me start off. The first thing I'd like to say is a lot of the credit has to go to my brother. He's the one who really experimented with and tried the different materials which I was able to build my kit with. My kit was pretty basic when I started off. The first thing is a cheap neoprene cell phone holder. He found it at the dollar store. It works perfect. On the back it has a nice secure clip, which is important to carry this because it does get a little bit weighed down if you try to stick it in your pocket, and it has a flap with Velcro on it. The next thing you'll see is he did some experimentation in painting it. I copied the same thing. It was an excellent idea. It keeps it from looking like just an Altoids kit. It could be interpreted as a cell phone in the holder, and also I have it secured with a Ranger band. We agreed when we built them that you could place as much as it would hold as long as you could keep it shut with a Ranger band. So I'll pull that off and open up and show you the contents. When I open it up, you're going to see that some of the contents actually are attached to the lid of the Altoids kit. And the reason being is that what's holding that is a neodymium magnet that was found, a rare earth magnet. And my brother went ahead and found out which side, when you stroked a needle, would reflect true north in the needle. So when you put a sewing needle on top of a leaf and a small puddle of water, you could actually find some basic direction finding capabilities with the needle off of the magnet. Now you can pre-magnetize them, but after we started to experiment with them, we realized that you could actually hold some of the kit together that made the box able to close where it wouldn't have if you didn't have the magnet there. So the first thing you'll see is there's a small key ring. This can be used for a number of things. We primarily use them in our fishing kits. The next item you'll see is a CountryCom small pry bar. They can be used to pull nails. They can be used to hold open a simple door mechanism lock. We found that it's a great piece of kit to have in there, especially in your urban environment. There's a lot you can do with this, and we'll just leave it up to your imagination to find out all the needs. And we found that at CountryCom. The next thing you'll see here attached to the magnet is snare wire. It's I think it's 28 gauge, and we have about 10 feet here. Most of the time, we've never snared an animal with this particular type of snare wire, but we have used it in repairing gear and some other different field implements. We have a simple goodies powder. It's aspirin and caffeine to be able to dull a headache when you're out during the day and one comes on, and it comes in a nice strip. Now, before we found the goodies powder in a nice flat strip, which is really how we source the different items, is what would fit in the tin. We were taking and cutting out the plastic Advil or aspirin and then placing those in the tin, but we found this works better. You'll also see here some children's Benadryl. I'm an allergy sufferer, and so is my brother, so this comes in real handy. And the children's doses seem to work out well. They're half of the adult dose. So you only get 12.5 milligrams, which allows you to still be functional if you feel sinus headache coming on, or you get stung by a bee or wasp that you feel you may have a more serious allergic reaction to. The next thing you'll see is just a small hank of about 6 feet of cordage. It can be used for a number of things. I've used this primarily for reattaching gear onto my pack. You could also use it for for a trap, for a very small one. The next thing you'll see here is a small piece of inner tube. It's rubber, and it will assist you in lighting a fire in wet conditions. We carry one small Bic lighter for surefire, one safety pin, and I'm sure you've seen on YouTube all the uses you can use a safety pin for. The safety pin can be used to actually close a wound if you had to. It can also be used to pick out a splinter. It can be used to repair gear or hold gear together or hold your clothes together. The next item you'll see is a small Leatherman. It is the scissors Leatherman. Really saves on having to cut when you have to do intricate cutting. It also comes with a small pair of tweezers, a bottle opener, a screwdriver, a Phillips screwdriver, a small file, and a small blade. And the next thing you'll see here is a small buck. This is the 379. We were looking for something a little above your dime store knives to put in here, something with some quality we could keep an edge on to skin an animal or to do some basic work with. This fits the bill well. It's well made, and it fits in the tin. The next thing you'll see is a small photon light for emergency lighting or signaling. And then another field expedient that my brother showed me was the credit card. And this is a small piece of an unused credit card wrapped with about 5 feet of duct tape. And there's a lot of uses for duct tape. I'm sure you would find that in almost any kit that you have, to put some of this in here, whether it's to make a field expedient bandage or to attach something very quickly, you'll find it useful. Then is the second fire starting mechanism. We have, and you can see this one's very well used. We have a ferrocerium rod attached to a magnesium stick and the striker. Then here we have about 25 to 30 feet of spider wire in 50-pound test, and this goes along with the fishing kit. And in the fishing kit we have the sinkers that have masking tape on them, as well as the needle that's magnetized for north. And then we also took masking tape and put together different size hooks and a couple of swivels and a small saw blade. Now these items in this kit have worked out well for us. We've tried some other items, and we find that other than the basic fishing kit, most of the items get used very, very regularly. We don't use as regularly the needle to find our direction, or the fishing kit, but all the other items we find, on a weekly basis that we're using them. So we hope that you were able to get some good ideas from this and build your own kit. We encourage you to do that. It's an important part of self-reliance, is to go through and look at the things that you need on a daily basis and not have to ask for outside assistance to procure them and to be able to solve your own problems. Thank you very much for tuning in today, and again, as always, please subscribe.